Hello and welcome to Rate My Cigar. So tonight we're doing a very different video to what we normally do. So the channel's sort of really starting to take off now, and obviously we've got all you to thank for that. We've got loads of subscribers now, we're getting loads of comments daily, loads of sort of like positive like comments and stuff on our videos, so thank you very much for all of that. What we've been talking about is, obviously we get a lot of comments on here, but like, although we try and reply to you in the messages, obviously it'd be cool for you if like we're talking to you as well. So what we thought we'd do is every week we're going to do a video and we're going to go through the comments and stuff which people have sent us, because the thing is there's quite a lot of like good information in these comments as well, or like interesting questions and stuff like that. So we thought we'd go through and just sort of have a chat, pick out certain comments and sort of talk about them really. So I'm going to have a look through some of the comments now, and the first one which pops up to us was only put on a couple of hours ago, and it's from Mrs. Gargled. So good name there. Interestingly, this was actually put on our Cohiba Siglo 6 video, and it's actually a question about Perdomo cigars. So interesting, it's put on a Cuban video, but it's about New World. So can you look at Perdomo wrappers, or I think they actually meant to say, can you look at Perdomo labels sticking to the wrappers of the cigars?
But this subject could be for any cigar. It does not just Perdomo.
I've had it on quite a few cigars, not necessarily Perdomos, but this person, Miss Gargled, has put, it's ruining my smokes. 4 out of 6 had basically the labels fully stuck, not melting, and like well into the smoke, weren't able to get the labels off. So what would I say to that? It sounds ridiculous, but ever since I've had that happen on a couple of sticks, what I tend to do, like when I first get a cigar out, a lot of the time you'll see me like doing this with it, and like I'm just basically making sure the band is a little bit unstuck, if that makes sense. Like you'll probably see it on video, there's like a bit of that band flaking off there. Now, annoyingly, like as you work your way through a cigar, as you're coming up to the band section, if that label is fully stuck and the corners aren't unstuck, sometimes because the cigar is a bit more squishy and like pliable effectively, it can be very hard to get the edge of the labels unstuck. So what I do tend to do is, if you've got a cigar, which this happens with like fairly often, or brands as such, before you start your smoke, whilst the cigar is still very solid, get your nail under it and see if you can just at least unpeel a bit of the label, and you'll probably find that as you work your way through the cigar, you should be able to quite easily rip that label off. Because the other thing is, sometimes like the labels won't slide and they will be firmly stuck in place. Obviously, most of the time, as you work your way down the cigar, the heat from the cigar will ease the glue, and by the time you get to it, you can effectively break it free and it will move, and you can either slide it off or unpick it. So yeah, basically before you start your smoke, see if the band is free. A lot of the times it will just move if you just give it a tiny amount of force, or obviously just pick the corner of the label so it's ready to go later on. That's my sort of view on it really. What about you? Anything to add to that?
You've pretty much said it.
You know, as long as you're not forced to smoke through it, then it will ruin it. Absolutely.
I've never smoked through a cigar label ever.
No, I've always tried to get them off, to be fair.
I
know people who do. Like,
I know. I've actually damaged a couple of cigars
by trying to, and sometimes you'll peel it off and then it'll rip the wrapper and pull the wrapper off with it. Yeah. Then you end up with a massive chunk off of your cigar. So yeah.
But then I've still smoked through it. But
yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
I suppose the other thing to do is, if that does happen to you now, one thing you can do is get a little pot of this, which is cigar glue. Now, we've put a link to this in the description, so obviously if you are watching this, please do check the description, and there's a link on it. This is called El Liquidor by Credo. So it's basically a cigar glue. It's about £10 quid a tub. Now, if you do pull your label off and it does rip it, you'll probably find you'll be able to put a smear of this in, stick the wrapper back on, and by the time you've got close to it, it's dried off, and you'll just burn through it. It dries literally really quickly,
very quickly.
Very quickly.
And I've actually had a cigar before where I've got almost probably an inch away from the end, and it started to split, and I've actually pulled that out, stuck some on, and I smoked it, and there was no difference.
And the nice thing, it doesn't alter the flavour of your cigars.
No,
as well,
completely unflavorless. Unflavoured.
Unflavorless.
Listen, stop being incorrect. Unflavoured.
Yeah, so basically it's effectively 100% pure vegetal glue. So yeah, it doesn't smell very nice.
It's made out of real vegetables.
Real vegetables. That's incredible. I've learned something today. But yeah, honestly, doesn't affect the flavour of cigar. Doesn't smell good, but ignore that because once it's on there, you won't even notice it.
That's my second little tub in
probably
a year and a half.
Yeah.
I think you've got a tub at home as well.
Yeah. Always handy to keep.
Yeah.
The thing is, £11, that'll do you hundreds of cigars.
Yeah.
£11 versus throwing away an expensive cigar, no brainer to me.
I mean,
absolute no brainer.
Since we've been doing the channel, I've probably there must be at least 20 cigars that's done, and that's both of us doing the channel, and we've probably done 150 cigars in this channel.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, definitely.
So that's saying.
I know for a fact that I've used the glue quite a few times. So yeah.
He's even brought cigars with him to glue before he bought his own.
I wouldn't have done that.
So what have we got next?
So next we've got I Am Geo 69. So this was put on 15 hours ago actually, again on the Cohiba Siglo 6 unboxing review. So similar to my question regarding the Upmann Magnums, do the Siglos have the same taste profile? So I have a few Siglos that I got from Cigars when they're on sale. So he's interested to hear our thoughts. Are the Siglos the same?
I'll be honest. The Siglos, I've had a Siglo 1, a Siglo 2, a Siglo 3 and a Siglo 6.
So a few of them.
But those Siglos I haven't had for a long time, the Siglo 1, 2 and 3. They were also aged as well. The Upmann, which Upmann was he said?
He said similar question regarding the Upmann Magnums. Basically, he was saying like, with the Magnums, obviously, are like the 56s and the 54s, etc. Are they all sort of the same flavour profile?
I think they do vary. They're in the same area potentially, but if I'm honest, from what I remember, I probably prefer the Magnums.
Okay.
But the Siglo 6,
that's a good cigar.
You can't compare them to a Siglo 6.
No, but I think more, the question is more is like, is the range of Siglos the same flavour? So basically it comes down to the same thing I always talk about of like ring gauges of cigars. So what you tend to find is like sometimes big cigars with big ring gauges, although a lot of them are phenomenal, when you move to the smaller ring gauges, like this for instance, this is a 48 ring gauge, and normally I'm smoking like 58s to 60s. But yeah, normally as you go down through the ring gauges, you tend to find that like the flavours change massively and they're a bit more concentrated in the smaller ring gauges.
Yeah. And
the other thing you find is obviously depending on the size of the cigar. So as you burn through your cigar, what you find is the oils build up in the lower end of the cigar as you work your way through the cigar. So the longer the cigar and the thinner it is, the more the oils build up, the more flavour you get. The bigger ring gauge cigar, obviously the more freer flowing the cigar is, you don't quite get the same oil build up in it. So yes, the flavours are different. What you'll probably find is in the smaller ring gauges, you probably get a little bit more flavour come through from them, but at the same time, not quite the smoke production you get with the slightly larger ring gauges, if that makes sense. But
the flavours, they're very different cigars. They're very different cigars, I think.
Definitely. There's a really easy way to answer this one. Try your Siglos and tell us what you think.
Well, we have got some... excuse me, we have got some Cohiba, I don't think of the name then, we have got some Cohibas to actually start trying, but for how much they cost, and again, we're non-profit here, they're a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we will be smoking some at some stage, but to be honest, value for money, I think the Upmanns are the best buy. But
I do like an Upmann, to be fair.
Yeah, they're the flavours.
I've only tried a select few Upmanns, but they've all been really exceptional cigars. So yeah, definitely cannot complain of those at all. So next one, interestingly, the next comment is on the H. Upmann Magnum 50. So smoked 2 of those over Christmas. Lovely cigar, enjoyed them very much. Actually smoking Epicure number 2 at this moment in time. Epicure number 2. Awesome cigar, really, really good.
Do you know we haven't done a review on that?
Which sounds ridiculous. We've got a board there of so many Cubans, and we have not reviewed like the world's most common Cuban, either a D4 or an Epi 2.
And do you know, the funny thing is, since we do this channel, I've actually smoked 2 of them.
I've smoked loads of Epis, yeah.
No, since we do the channel, I've smoked 2 of them. I got one out. I started to do the review, And I'm not even joking. I sat outside in the garden, and I was just smoking away. And then I went, "Oh, okay, I'll finish that cigar then."
In fact, the last...
And I forgot to come in and do the rest of the review.
Really? You know why? It's because you're enjoying it so much.
Yeah.
The last Epicure number 2 I had was in Berlin. So I went to Berlin a while ago, and I visited the Berlin Samurai Museum, which, if you haven't been,
7 months ago,
is absolutely awesome. And I actually had one just before I went there, and it was phenomenal. I sat down, had a nice Costa coffee and a nice Epi 2 outside, and then made my way to the museum. It was absolutely brilliant. So yeah, really, really nice. So the next one, Dara. Dara has put, "Where is this cigar case, the big one, from, please? Couldn't see link in description." This is on our video, the cigar cases and travel humidors. So they want to know where your big cigar case is from.
Okay.
Come on, you should know this.
I don't know which one. I've got 3 or 4. Okay, so I'll tell you what we do. The easiest way to work this out is, what we're going to do is we're going to go through all the stuff we talked about, looked about and everything, and we're going to put links to where you can purchase this stuff. So if you guys have seen the cutters, the perfect draw tool, the glue, everything, you know, we will put down where we've got it from in the past, and you can just click on the link and see where it is. That will be on every single video we do from now on, including this one, and feel free to have a look.
Okay, so
Another good question.
Beeble noise. So this is on our San Cristobal Magnifico edition.
Oh yeah.
This is an amazing cigar. I have a box and smoked a few whilst in the mountains. Even for it being a young cigar, it's still very enjoyable. Now, that is a very good cigar. San Cristobal, although they haven't rated massively high on the board, well, they are still enjoyable cigars.
I'll tell you something else. I actually gave one of those cigars to a friend of mine, and I said, because he's banging on about Cohiba and, sorry, the camera just cut off, and it was one that isn't being used at the moment. So he keeps banging on about Cohiba and these other ones, a lot more expensive. So I sent him this and I said, look, try it, you know. And he sent me a message the other day saying, oh my God, where can I buy these from? They're brilliant. So that's a cigar that we need to do for the channel. So that will be coming soon.
And the answer to your question is, where can you buy them from? Andorra.
Yeah.
And that is the only place you're going to get them
if
from.
If you can see, if any cigar is a regional cigar, then what it means is that is the only area that cigar was released. So if it's an Andorra cigar, it's only in Andorra. If it's the, I think we did a review on the box of Juan Lopez, and they were the, I can't think what, yeah, Juan Lopez. They're regionals to Belgium and Luxembourg. Now that's the only place you can buy those cigars. Same as the Diplomatico from Spain. You can't buy them anywhere else.
If you really do want these regionals, as annoying as it is, you've got to travel. So
yeah, you can't just buy them. But saying that, there is a shop. Oh no, these I've seen these San Cristobals in a shop in. If you're in the UK, they are in Ireland. There's a box for sale in Ireland on one of the cigar websites, cigar shops. So if you Google Ireland and you look there, I think they were about, I think they were like 400 and something quid a box. They weren't cheap, but
no regionals are, literally. Most of the regionals are very expensive, but effectively they're limited edition releases. So if you can get them, get them. Obviously, if you're gonna, or you can order them from another country online. Obviously, just be wary. Obviously, you've got importation tax and everything.
I've never seen a company or a shop doing that.
They will send them. They will post them.
Will they?
Yeah. So
now you're giving me ideas to buy even more cigars.
I don't need to give you any ideas, you do it regularly. So next, we've actually had quite a few comments on our H. Upman number 2 video. So Right Turn Willie, great name. Definitely one of my favourite Cuban Vitolas of all time. This is the H. Upman number 2. Now, that is a cigar which I really, really enjoyed actually. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. So absolutely fantastic cigar that.
To be honest, I had one a week or so before the review. I've never had one before. They've been sat in my humidor for a long time, and whenever I saw it, I was thinking of the Monte Cristo number 2. Now, it's a good cigar, but I prefer other cigars, and I kept seeing that as, oh, it's just going to be another Monte Cristo. But no.
No, it was very, very good. Very good. So David Allen's also put on the same video, I like it when you two do a review together. It says, I like the videos when you're both having a bit of banter, keep going. So that's one of the things we have tried to do a lot more recently. Obviously, I've noticed whenever we do a video together, we feed off each other a lot better than when we're just doing like sort of single reviews. And obviously the banter tends to come out a lot more naturally when there's two of you sitting there taking a piss at smoking a cigar together.
I would show you guys, but I haven't got a camera. He's got little legs and little post-it notes here with "Don't cry, Darren loves me really," you know, stuff like this. So I don't know what that's for.
And interestingly, another one from Cigar Confidential. In the H. Upman number 2 video, Darren, you seem frustrated with chucking this one. What's going on?
I actually saw that comment and I watched the video and I couldn't see where I looked frustrated.
It's your general look, mate.
Oh, shut up. No, honestly, I couldn't see where I was looking frustrated. So, nothing. Chuck always annoys me, so it's nothing new.
No, I try my hardest, I really do.
He does try.
And interestingly, misgargled again. Now, this one is in brackets. The box they came from is actually a box. What the actual something does that mean?
What was that?
I will just throw it out there. Obviously, all the times we do a video, none of this is scripted. Obviously, it's all just off the top of our head. So sometimes you'll go to say something. I don't know, if you're like me, my concentration span is horrendous. So I'll start talking about something. I'm like, oh, look, a rapper. What's I talking about again? So, yeah, obviously we are going to mess the odd thing up. It's only natural. So if we do say something stupid like Darren did, like this box is actually a box, then you can probably just put that down to stupidity more than anything. Not at you in a hole, but just in general. Like, I do it as well. It's normal. It's human nature.
So off camera, I've punched Chuck twice now. No, I'm joking. It's 3 times. Is that my comment's down? Is it? It's no good.
Yeah,
it's bad comment.
No, I've rejected that comment. Absolutely. Net Millionaire 6 days ago, again on the H. Upman number 2. So that video actually got quite a lot of views.
How many views?
A lot of comments, and he said, H. Upman, super cigars, love the half Coronas, 10 out of 10 stick. Now, as I've said in other videos, the H. Upman half Coronas were one of the main cigars I used to smoke in my early days of smoking, but I couldn't really I couldn't smoke massive sticks without being like, I've had too much nicotine. They're a brilliant little cigar.
I actually bought a box of those when I was away. Oh God, last year, and I was going to do it for the channel, and unfortunately, I've smoked them already, and I haven't done a review on them.
So we're not doing those then.
So I'm going to have to look out for another one. But they are good cigars.
The next one, now this is going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons. So this is from Jeff Hurds 6 days ago, and it's on the video, which is a 4-day road trip in England to Barcelona, Spain, looking for Cuban cigars and shops. As a cigar smoker, do you think the people in Spain and France are open to cigar smokers? So
right,
that's quite a tricky question,
Right.
because it's a very subjective.
Okay, so when I'm in Spain, I do visit Spain quite a lot. When I'm relaxing, having a cigar, no one seems to be bothered. Even though you're allowed to smoke in outside of restaurants in the seating area that's smoking, you get a lot of people that smoke cigars. Sorry, a lot of people smoke cigarettes. You get people that aren't smoking, and they sit in the same area. It doesn't bother them so much. I think in England, people are a little bit more like, oh, you're smoking near me, cigar, regardless, you know.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, he actually said, or are they as, don't shout at us, this was not us, this was him. Or are they as rude as Americans can be? And what about England and Scotland? Now, personally, I got quite a lot. I have got a lot of American friends, actually. And to be fair,
You haven't got friends.
I got 1 or 2. So to be fair, they are actually pretty sound. Obviously, some of them can be a bit bubblegum.
I think. Do you know what? It's not down to
where they're
from.
It's
the actual person.
It's the stigma in the person. 100%.
Yeah.
You could be in England and you could have 10 people who walk past you and turn their nose up, or another guy like. When I've been out smoking cigars and pipes before, I remember multiple times when I've had a pipe, I've been walking along and you get people walk past you and they'll go, oh mate, that smells amazing.
See, I've been sat outside a club before and I've had, it was a massive Gordo sized cigar, and when I go visit with my best mate, he's a drinker. I'm not really a drinker, if I'm honest. He gets completely smashed, and I drive home, and I've had one drink. So I have a cigar, and we sit there. He drinks, I have a cigar, and we chat. Now this club, these lads come over, and I remember this, and he's like, "My God, you look like a boss with that cigar." And I'm like, I'm just relaxing, you know. What? And so I've no idea
because
what
it has that stigma about it,
Yeah.
like gangsters and
and he's like,
Some
"Oh my
bad
God,
people,
where'd
but-
you get that from?" "Oh, I want to get one of those." And he must have been in his early 20s, and he just thought the cigar was amazing. Having a cigar would be amazing.
The thing is, you don't really see it massively often when you're out now. Like back in the day, you'd see it quite a lot, but like nowadays, it's like a bit of a taboo subject. Like you don't really see a huge amount of people smoking cigars, especially pipes. Like every time I used to go out of a pipe, the amount of comments I used to get.
I can't remember
was,
the
like,
last
crazy.
person I saw smoking a pipe. I can't remember the last person I saw smoking one.
For me, it's myself. Literally, I can't remember. Actually, no. To be fair, I remember seeing an old boy with one literally about 3 months ago when I was out walking the dog once. But that's pretty much it. To be fair,
And how popular cigars are in Spain.
Really. See, I haven't been over there for many years, so I haven't really seen much of it.
But you don't see that many people smoking a cigar.
No. To be fair, I think you just don't in general anymore, which is a shame. But like, I think a lot of people tend to smoke either in their own homes or like out at a restaurant or like out on a night out or something. Like, it's not really like a day-to-day thing for a lot of people, but not everyone. But yeah.
But I will say one more thing on that comment. A lot of people, since I've been smoking, you've got people that really hate the smell of it. It's like, no. And then you've got the people, you've got a very small amount of people, I'd say probably about 20%. They always say, "Oh, I love smell of cigar
And the
smoke."
first we go, is it a Cuban? Every time.
But the people, and the funny thing is, the people that ask, "Is it a Cuban?" they normally haven't got a clue that how uncommon Cubans are nowadays.
Compared to New World,
Yeah.
just purely from a price point of view. Which actually it brings us on to our next comment. Now, this is actually quite shocking. So, in New Zealand and a couple other countries, the taxation etc. on cigars is like phenomenal, and I mean like crazy. Now, I'll tell you what the price is first, and then when I tell you what cigar it is, it's going to absolutely blow your mind. So it says, the comment says it's from Sam Beckerleg, 1776. These are great. Can you believe I pay $43 for one of these in New Zealand? $43. Do you want to know what cigar it is? Quintero Favoritos.
I've seen
$43. Wow.
Right, okay, put that into perspective. In Europe,
That is like €3.
they're like they're about £5.
Are they
now.
gone up a little bit then?
Yeah, they're about £5. So $5 is £7, and he pays 43
So that's literally like 37 quid.
in tax.
Something like that, yeah.
In the UK, they're about £25. That is $30.
That's like double UK prices. That is insane. So Sam Becker, like, fair play, that is a lot of commitment to cigars. $43 for a Quintero. Wow.
Do you know you could actually book a flight to Spain, you and your partner, go, literally cheap flight, a couple of days in a hotel, bring back a load of cigars, and it would be cheaper.
Than buying a box of Quinteros.
Yes. And you could end up with some good cigars.
Wow.
But I
Problem
believe,
is, New Zealand is miles away from anywhere, though. That's the thing.
yeah, I suppose so. It probably would cost you about $1,000 in flights, wouldn't it?
So, again from Sam Beckerleg. Now, this is on our Vigueros Mananitas Cubans. So, these are the very small Vigueros cigars, which are actually really nice, to be honest. Like, all the Vigueros range I've tried so far, for the money, I think are incredible. Like, really nice cigars.
I've
for the money.
actually got the rest of their range in my humidor. I've actually picked
Along
them
with
all
every
up.
other brand as well.
No. No, I haven't got that many.
So, Sam Beckerleg, he said, "Hey mate, this is a great review and a great channel. Firstly, thank you very much, really appreciate it. I've just got into cigars, had many through my 20s with my uncle's dad, family events, etc., which I think is quite common for a lot of us really when we first sort of got into it. However, now in my 30s with some cash, I'm enjoying the commitment to time and flavours, so enjoyable." So, to be honest, that's one of the things which I really enjoy in this as well. Like, I love it. When you get a cigar, and after a while of smoking, you finally figure out what you actually really enjoy, and you manage to get something in that range. It's like you understand why you smoke cigars.
I wonder where you smoke them. Whereabouts do you smoke those cigars? Is he smoking them at home, indoors in the garden, or in a lounge?
It does make a difference.
Because it does make a difference. Yeah, because Chuck earlier on today said, "Oh, this cigar tastes even better outside."
Yeah, it tastes completely different outside. Yeah,
so
fresh air and
it'd be interesting where you guys smoke your cigars. Drop us a comment below and let us know.
But he follows on with, funnily enough, my first was this exact cigar. So Sam's first cigar was a Vigueros Mananitas Cuban, so very short but tasty smoke. I've since had many, and today quite literally brought some of these for a quicker smoke. Quite a good shout. I also keep a few of those as well. If you're after other good smokes as well, short smokes, what's on the list? So we've got Flor de Copan Perlas. Small Flor de Copans.
They're not
brilliant. They're not Cubans, but I can guarantee.
He's got a thing about those cigars. They are good. I admit they are nice.
For the money. So that short smoke. What was it? It was
the Rayo del Mundo.
El Rey del Mundo Choy Supreme. Now, again, not a massive smoke, a smaller smoke, but superb flavours. Like really, really, really.
Even though that didn't go to the top of the board for the price, on my next trip, that is the only cigar I want to buy. Well. I will buy others, but
I was about to call out that's a load of rubbish.
But that is the cigar I really want to find.
Oh my god!
What?
Okay, right. So Sam Beckerleg is also the same person who put this $43 for the Quintero in New Zealand. Are you ready for this? The Vigueros Mananitas. Bearing in mind it's that big. Pay $36 for that cigar, and it is the cheapest cigar you can get in New Zealand. That is staggering. Do you know what? All of a sudden I don't feel so bad for the UK tax on cigars when you hear someone saying stuff like that.
But that's
crazy.
But that's like a €10 cigar.
Yeah, that's £30 for it's effectively the same as a Upman half Corona. That is incredible.
What was the chap's name?
Sam Beckerleg.
Right. I presume your name is Sam. Do us a favour, drop us a comment. How much is like an Epi number 2?
Or like nice Cubans, yeah, that would actually be. I don't even want to know.
Yeah, and are they really available? Because that is some serious money.
Well, interesting. He's just actually said he's also picked up some Romeo Julieta number 3s and some Quintero Favoritos. That's what I just said to you. So I didn't actually get that far in your comment. So yeah, the Quintero, brilliant short smoke, really good. So yeah, finish it off by saying, cheers, mate. Keep up the good work. So yeah, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. There's so many good comments on here. Like, thanks for sharing. Keep up the good work. Daddy Easy, so yummy on the Juan Lopez Dragones, another really good cigar. Yeah, there's just really, really lovely positive comments on this. So thank you all very much. So I think we're going to call it quits there in this video. We've obviously gone through a few of the comments. So thank you very much to everyone who has taken your time to obviously comment on our videos. It is very much appreciated and obviously keeps the channel going. And obviously gives us lots of interesting questions to answer and talk about.
I think we're going to answer some of the questions while we're doing the cigar reviews. We're also going to do some specific blocks of videos of us talking about the questions and stuff, giving you guys some answers. So feel free to drop plenty of questions into us, and we'll do our best to answer them as truthfully, honestly as possible.
Sounds good to me. Thank you very much. Bye bye.